Being in the public eye as a child can be really overwhelming. In addition, you accumulate many fans who always think of you as that little kid from that movie and not as the adult you're growing up to be. Get ready to be shocked when we show you some celebrities from your childhood that are now nothing like what you remembered. Our videos come up pretty fast, so make sure you don't miss any by hitting the subscribe button and turning on your notifications. Paris Jackson. Although her famous father, Michael Jackson, did his best to hide her from the world when she was a child, as an adult, Paris Jackson is embracing the public eye. Losing your father is always a difficult event, and it's one that Jackson had to endure when she was only 11 years old. Her father was a popular but controversial figure, making his passing even more traumatic. Her teenage years were troubled, and she suffered from depression while dealing with learning about both the good and bad parts of her father's legacy. Along with her two siblings and her grandmother, she attempted to crowdsource funds to make a documentary in remembrance of Michael Jackson. However, the backlash it caused was so horrific that they ended up shutting down the campaign entirely. According to Jackson, her father was the best one that she could imagine. He even promised to teach her the secrets to his signature moonwalk move, but passed away before he could fulfill his vow. Instead of following his moon shoes into music, Jackson has signed on with IMG Models and is starting an acting career as well. She guest stars on Fox's show Star and plans to make her feature film debut when Gringo premieres in 2018. Abigail Breslin. Although she first appeared in the movie Signs back in 2002, most of us were first enchanted with actress Abigail Breslin when we saw her enthusiastic appearance in Little Miss Sunshine. Her performance earned her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress and cemented her in the public eye as a child star. However, Breslin eventually grew up, and years later she's unrecognizable from her childhood self. She went on to appear in My Sister's Keeper, Zombieland, Rango, and August Osage County. You might also recognize her from her appearance in the television series Scream Queens. While many horror fans love Zombieland, director Ruben Fleischer loved Breslin for the role of Little Rock and claimed that she was his dream actress for the part. Tragically, life wasn't all sunshine for this actress, and in April 2017, she was sexually assaulted by someone that she was in a relationship with. According to her social media, this caused her to become afflicted with PTSD. Thankfully, Breslin got help and posted about her journey on social media. She's all grown up now, but did briefly take a role as a character called Baby in a reimagining of Dirty Dancing. Breslin confessed that she is less than graceful in real life, and nailing the moves in the film was nothing short of a miracle. Hailie Mathers. When Eminem first became mainstream, we would hear him talk and occasionally sing about his daughter, Hailie Mathers. If you've ever wondered who that baby cooing in his song 97 Bonnie and Clyde is, that's Hailie, and she's all grown up now. Back when she was 6, she came up with the line, "Somebody help me, I think my dad's gone crazy." And maybe he really had, because he used that line in the song My Dad's Gone Crazy. This got her name added to the Guinness Book of World Records for youngest R&B chart entrant. Although many people posed as her online, for years she avoided social media entirely until she suddenly surfaced, much to everyone's shock. It turns out that she's studying at Michigan State University and plans to go into either psychology or entrepreneurship. She's also a member of the Zeta Tau Alpha sorority and credits her parents with her successes in life thus far. Although she's now a beautiful young woman, rapper Machine Gun Kelly once found himself in hot water for tweeting that he found then 16-year-old Mathers hot. Eminem didn't consider that comment towards his teenage daughter a compliment, and rumor has it he blackballed Machine Gun Kelly from certain venues behind the scenes. Michelle Trachtenberg. 90s kids remember Michelle Trachtenberg for her roles in Harriet the Spy, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, and Inspector Gadget. She tended to play nerdy, quirky characters, and many of us couldn't help but think of her as anything but that. However, as she got older, she began taking on more villainous roles, and no longer even vaguely resembles a strange little girl who is too obsessed with taking notes in her composition book. Trachtenberg got started as a star early when she was just 3 years old and was featured in commercials. Before she made it onto the set of The Adventures of Pete and Pete, she had already been featured in over 100 commercials. Later, she went on to play Dawn Summers in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and also appeared in 6 Feet Under, Eurotrip, and Gossip Girl. Audiences noticed that she was changing, and this point was especially driven home when she graced the cover of Maxim magazine in 2011. Although her Buffy days are long behind her, Trachtenberg claims that she still gets a lot of hate and backlash about her portrayal of Dawn in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Alexa PenaVega. If the last time you saw Alexa PenaVega was when she starred in the Spy Kids film series, have we got a surprise for you. Back when she was Alexa Vega, she got her start in the movie Twister and moved on to other roles before landing the role of Carmen Cortez in Spy Kids. During all 3 films, she performed most of her own stunts. Her fearless nature served her well as she moved on to other roles, including appearing in The Devil's Carnival, Machete Kills, Wicked Blood, and The Hunted. She eventually married actor and singer Carlos Pena Jr. and changed her last name from Vega to PenaVega. Living with your spouse can be exhausting at times, but these two work together as well. They share a YouTube channel called Lex Loves Lost where they talk about their lives and their Christian faiths. The two struggled to conceive a child, which they were perhaps a bit too open about how many times it took during interviews. However, their persistence paid off and PenaVega gave birth to a son named Ocean King PenaVega. Slow down a minute because it's time for our trivia question. We all know about Eminem's famous daughter Hailie, but he has 2 other adopted daughters as well. What are their names? Keep watching for the answer. Jonathan Lipnicki. You probably know Jonathan Lipnicki as the adorably bespectacled little boy from Jerry Maguire's Stuart Little and the Little Vampire. This blonde-haired, blue-eyed little kid dropped out of the public eye for a while as he made the transition from child actor to awkward teenager. He was exhausted from being hounded by the paparazzi and found being a typical high school student much easier. At first, he was bullied for his fame and film appearances, but Lipnicki claimed that he isn't ashamed of his past. For some reason, we are guessing nobody picks on him much anymore, especially once he started earning belts in martial arts. Looking at his muscular physique, you would never guess that he was the same boy from Jerry Maguire. He claims that one of his life goals is to earn his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's recently received his purple belt. Behind the scenes, he's been interested in martial arts since he was a child and even trains others to fight as well. Although he currently claims that he is in no way physically prepared to enter an official MMA fight, he won't rule it out for the future. Kylie Jenner. Because her growing up was done in front of a multitude of cameras, we sometimes forget that Kylie Jenner was an innocent little girl. For a long time, people watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians simply to catch a glimpse of her big sister Kim. The older Kardashian siblings may have taken up most of the camera time in the beginning, but now Jenner has her very own spin-off called Life of Kylie. She hasn't been slack in contributing to the Kardashian empire of brands and released 2 nail lacquers called Wear Something Spark Kylie and Rainbow in the Skyly. Along with her sister Kendall, she launched the Kendall and Kylie collection with PacSun, and that's just the start. She now has her own cosmetic line, Kylie Cosmetics, and is one of the top 10 most followed people on Instagram with over 95 million followers. In 2014 and 2015, Time magazine listed her on the list of most influential teens. Now that she's officially no longer a teenager, we can look back from the Jenner we know today to the little girl we first met on reality television. Even Jenner poked fun at herself, posting a screenshot from the show that featured her promising not to grow up too fast. Kendall Jenner. For those of you that have trouble keeping the younger members of the Kardashian clan straight, Kendall is known for her modeling and for her regretful appearance in that Pepsi commercial. You know the one. She has come such a long way since we first saw her on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and in 2015 she made the Forbes list of top-earning models, placing at number 16. Jenner started out doing commercial print ad campaigns and photo shoots, but then transitioned to strutting down the runway for high-fashion designers. She's practically made her home in between the pages of Vogue magazine and acts as a brand ambassador for Estee Lauder. But despite her success, she freely admits that she was forced to grow up way too fast. Some people claim that the success of the Kardashians is pure luck, but these women really know how to hustle. Jenner claims that she was raised to be a workaholic and felt that she has been grown up for a long time. Being constantly surrounded by adults and older siblings took its toll on Kendall, and she confessed that she was apprehensive about actually leaving her teenage years behind. KESHIA Knight Pulliam. We watched KESHIA Knight Pulliam grow up right before our eyes as Rudy Huxtable on The Cosby Show. In 1986, she was the youngest actress ever to be nominated for an Emmy Award at only 6 years old. She was nominated for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series. Although she didn't win the Emmy, she did go on to win the celebrity version of Fear Factor in 2002 and the celebrity version of The Weakest Link. Over a decade after her role as Ruby ended, we couldn't help but notice that she had shed her signature brightly colored sweaters when she played Miranda Lucas Payne on the TBS show Tyler Perry's House of Pain. She ended up marrying former football linebacker Ed Hartwell, and the couple had a daughter named Ella Grace. Unfortunately, their daughter was born after a bitter divorce, and Knight Pulliam has allegedly struggled to get her ex to pay child support for their daughter. Despite his hefty NFL retirement pension, Pulliam claims that he isn't paid up and additionally has been dragging his feet when it comes to consent forms to allow her to travel with their child. Tania Raymonde. When she was young, Tania Raymonde appeared on many of our favorite television shows. These include Malcolm in the Middle, That's So Raven, and The Brothers Garcia. We knew her as a plain-looking, quirky girl next door and was shocked to see her take on a more adult role when she played Alex Russo on the ABC drama Lost. It was clear that Raymonde was all grown up, and even the band Maroon 5 couldn't resist casting her in a video. Won't Go Home Without You was nominated for Best Pop Performance from a Duo or Group with Vocals at the 51st Grammy Awards, and it was Raymonde who was featured in the video. In addition to appearing in shows, films, and music videos, she has been branching out to some behind-the-camera work also. When she was only 17, she wrote, edited, and directed a short film called Cell Division. Despite how young she was, the film was successful at the festivals it was shown at. Now she is working on her first feature film as a director, which is a crime thriller called Little Saigon. Eminem has two other stunning daughters besides the well-known Hailie Mathers. What are their names? They are Elena Marie Mathers and Whitney Scott. These former child stars have grown up and changed so much that it's hard to recognize them at this point. Would you have recognized these stars if you just saw their after photos? As always, thanks for watching The Richest, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.